A potential new development in Madison.
Thousands of pages of internal church files, memorandum, minutes of meetings, cases concerning the sexual abuse of children by clergy in the state.
Earlier on Tuesday, officials of Nate's Mission marched up the steps of the Wisconsin State Capitol to deliver alleged documents of clergy abuse to Attorney General Josh Kaul.
These documents include allegations involving the Diocese of Green Bay. Nate's Mission Program Director Peter Isely claims Catholic leaders allegedly destroyed criminal and corporate evidence of fraud in the organization.
This was done in 2007. That was then Bishop Zubik. He ordered the systematic destruction of virtually all evidence of criminal behavior by dozens of Green Bay priests in his diocese.
But Nate's Mission says the documents it has collected cannot be viewed by the public at this time. The Diocese of Green Bay responded with this statement, being that this is part of an ongoing review, and since we are not aware of the content of these documents, we will reserve any further comment at this time. We wish to emphasize that the Diocese of Green Bay remains dedicated to the protection of children and vulnerable adults. The diocese has, over the past several decades, implemented a variety of tools to ensure the safety of every person in the diocese. AG Kaul has been investigating reports of clergy and faith leader abuse across Wisconsin since April.
We're conducting this review to get greater accountability and to promote healing for victims. And we're conducting this review to improve the response to abuse and hopefully to prevent future cases of abuse.
Isely wants the Attorney General to further investigate the alleged destruction of documents.
Was it illegal? Did it break Wisconsin state law? Did it violate charitable trust laws in the state of Wisconsin?
A leader among state Republican lawmakers from our area is not seeking re-election.
I never really believed that elected office should be something that people do for a lifetime.
It comes on the heels of an area Democrat stepping down from his leadership position.
I think it certainly can raise the profile of the district.
A look at the impact of having Northeast Wisconsin representatives in positions of power in Madison tops tonight's Fox 11 News at 9.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us tonight at 4 years. The leaders in both the assembly and in both parties, the Democrats and the Republicans, they've both been from Northeast Wisconsin.
Yeah, while each says it has been beneficial to the area, they admit leadership roles can mean less time spent in the home district. Fox 11's Ben Krumholtz brings us balanced news coverage.
After 12 years in office, Republican State Representative Jim Steineke of Kaukauna says it's time to head back to the private sector.
I just think it's time for somebody new to pop up and take the reins while I go back to the private sector.
The decision means state Republicans will need to find a new leader for the assembly, a position Steineke has held since 2014.
So much of the representation in the Capitol is from our cities, specifically in southeastern Wisconsin. Having somebody up in northeast Wisconsin kind of highlighting our issues, I think, is critically important.
Steineke will be in the role the rest of his term. His announcement comes a month after Democratic State Representative Gordon Hintz of Oshkosh announced he'd be stepping down as Assembly Minority Leader, which took effect January 10th.
Never stopped working for my district, but leadership is definitely a different ballgame in terms of your time and working in Madison.
Hintz says his decision was made with family in mind. He says his leadership position provided a platform for his district, but it also kept him away more than he'd like.
And it's a balancing act because you don't have any less work than you have when you're, a rank and file member. You have a lot more, but you have to continue to do those things.
Both Hintz and Steineke believe Northeast Wisconsin will still be well represented, even if it is with less representation in leadership.
This is an important part of the state economically and certainly politically.
We're lucky that we have really good representation throughout northeastern Wisconsin.
It's an issue that Cobeson Buses has faced for quite some time.
We haven't missed a route, and we're doing the best we can. Everybody's short.
Vice President Dan Cobeson says they need more bus drivers for their routes.
I think COVID did pull some folks forward to retiring, sure, but no, we've been struggling for drivers for years. It's been a long long time coming.
Some relief could be coming. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation acknowledged the issue and is putting forth a potential solution. It's temporary, but for anyone applying for a job driving a school bus, they won't have to take the under the hood portion of the test that identifies engine components. That will last until March 31st.
They got to check the belts, they got to check the pumps and the pulleys and know the brake system and know all that stuff. We don't feel that that's all that necessary.
The change is good for Cobeson buses. It's been arguing for years that it's not practical for drivers to have to know all the components of a school bus engine.
We think it's more important to concentrate on the students and have some safety tips for that more so than the actual mechanicals of the bus.
Still, it might take some time until more drivers are here.